every incentive that Black Americans made to better ourselves in this country and to put in law, we don't get none of that shit. It goes right to immigrants.
If you think that we get help from the U.S. government when we move here, let me tell you this. We don't get nothing from the U.S. government. Nothing at all. But I'm going to take my time to tell you how we do it. See, when I moved to this country, I was about, 25? I don't know, 25, 26. That's how old I was when I moved to this country. I grew up in Congo, in Kinshasa, okay? I did not grow up poor. Not at all. I grew up in a 4-bedroom house with a dog. We had a chauffeur, a maid, and a gate man. That's how I grew up. I was going to school in a Range Rover. That's how I grew up. I went to private school. I did not grow up poor. Most Africans are not poor. We just have unstable countries. Unstable countries meaning, by the time I got done with college, I had a job. I was working in our family business. Okay, our business was making a minimum of 1K a day. A minimum in Congo, 1K a day. We were living good. Life was nice. We were living good. Everything was fine. But we were still in an unstable country. Now, this is how the instability in our countries literally ruins everything. This dude right here becomes president. He was president for 2 terms. After his 2 terms, he decided he wanted to extend for a 3rd term. That's not in the constitution. Now, his fanatics was fighting to keep him in power because they were getting richer and richer every year. They had no reason to let him go because he was making them richer. You feel me? So these people started a procedure to keep him in power for a 3rd term, and the population was not having it. So this dude right here, to punish the population, literally crashed the economy. Literally. Remember, our store was selling a minimum of 1K a day, okay? We went from 1K a day to zero for weeks, sometimes months. And that happened overnight. That led to people getting angry. That led to violence. That led to a lot of people's lives being destroyed because of violence. All these people in power became brutal. They started targeting the population. They started targeting people that were against them. That's the main reason why a lot of people from Congo left the country, because they were being targeted by the government. You have to leave. If you stay, they're going to find you and X you. So I found my way out and moved to the US. Now I'm in the US and I have to start from scratch. I literally have nothing. I cannot even get a job because I don't have papers. So first thing to do is go to the immigration office and get papers. That takes about a year just to get papers to work. So I'm just waiting. In the meantime, I'm getting taken care of by people in my community for a whole year because I cannot get a job. You feel that, right? So all that time, all I can do is research, learn, study, understand the country, and prepare. My very first job was a factory job. I worked there for like 3 months. Then I moved to a different company, which was also a factory job. I worked there for like a year. The whole year I was there, I was telling myself, this is not how it's supposed to be, and this is not how it's gonna be. When I left that job, I said no more. So I started looking for jobs that's gonna push me forward. I found another job, then another job, then another job, and before you know, I'm starting to make 6 figures. Just like that.
Black immigrants are more successful than Black Americans because they outwork us. I said it. Now, I have seen this over and over and over again. If I'm dealing with a Black person in any sort of business capacity, you're dealing with people who do not show up on time. You're dealing with people who do not treat their business like a business. They treat it as like, some side project and, you just broke, man. And, I don't have to give you good service. I don't have to be on time. I don't have to show up like a true professional. Now, Black immigrant business owners are very different. They are very hardworking. They show up on time. They come to America with the mentality that they are going to come here and work and build something, whereas Black Americans, and yes, I am 100% foundational Black American from slaves, okay? That is how Black American I am, and I will tell you that Black Americans have a very entitled mindset. We're always waiting on somebody to do something for us. We are always waiting on government handouts. We are always waiting on somebody to do something for us, and when we get positions, and when we actually have businesses, have companies or whatever, 9 times out of 10, they're run terribly. I have had some of the most terrible experiences that you can ever have when deciding to deal with Black American business owners. Now, don't hate the player, hate the game. Don't hate me for saying what is really real. Black immigrants are outpacing Black Americans because they outwork us.
Some people are telling me that people of color in the United States are not African at all. I've seen this claim a lot lately, that Black Americans are not descended from Africans, but from Native Americans who were enslaved and perhaps later misclassified. I would like for you to give me more information about this, like source materials. Where did you get this information? Because I'm not finding that to be in evidence in any of the sources I look at. I'm a white woman. This is not my history, but I do a lot of work to listen, study, and track the records. And I found a lot of evidence that people did indeed get brought here from Africa, and particularly Western Africa, as slaves. Yes, some Native Americans were enslaved, particularly early on after the Europeans started coming to the continent that we now call America. And yes, some African and Native people intermarried and resisted together and raised families whose records were erased or distorted or minimized by the government. I guess it's going to rain. Yes, all that happened, but so did the transatlantic slave trade. And the way we know it happened is because it's recorded in multiple sources. We've got ship manifests, we've got legal documents, we've got personal letters. All of this suggests, since it's coming from different sources and it's telling the same story, there's pretty good evidence, a pretty good reason to believe that it really happened. Millions of Africans were kidnapped and sold into slavery across the Americas. Hundreds of thousands ended up in what is now the United States. And that is not speculation. That's backed by ship manifests, sale records, oral histories. And today it's also backed up by DNA. What confuses things is that the official records have often erased a lot of nuance. Some people were labeled Negro, no matter what their ancestry was. Others were denied their specific tribal identity, or it was never recorded at all. That leads to gaps. And when people go looking for their roots, sometimes the only thing they find is oral history and a lot of pain. So I understand where the claim comes from. It's an attempt to reclaim something that was stolen. But don't reclaim history by rewriting it. Find the real history. Look for compatible documents that say the same thing. If you're finding multiple documents from multiple sources that say people did not come here from Africa, then that's something serious to look at. But if you're seeing multiple documents that say they did come here from Africa, there's a pretty good chance that they did. We can honor the truth of Native ancestry and the reality of African descent. They're not enemies. They're often closely intertwined. I'm not an expert. I am an avid learner, and you can be one too. One share shows you care about setting the record straight. Please follow me for more. And you can support my work if you want to at coffee.com/Kelly Snyder. Get curious.
Immigrants built this country. No, they didn't. Settlers did. Well, settlers were immigrants. No, they weren't. Immigrants come to a developed nation looking for opportunity. Settlers go to an undeveloped land and create opportunity. That's very different. You're splitting hairs. No, I'm splitting facts from delusion. Settlers had no infrastructure, no government, no roads, no welfare, no economy. People who immigrated here later on did not come to build it from scratch. Well, but immigrants still contribute. Yeah, totally. If they come here legally, if they bring value, if they assimilate, yes, they can contribute a lot. But don't try and rewrite history. Oh, so you hate immigrants? Dude, I am an immigrant. I came here legally. I came here to contribute to this country. I didn't come here for handouts. And that's the problem that I have with immigration now. These people want the benefits of America without becoming Americans. They come here hating this country. They break the law to get in here and still expect us. They are entitled enough to think that we should welcome them with open arms and as if they were heroes. They demand rights that they've never earned, reject values that they've never lived, and feel entitled to a nation that they don't even respect. That's what I hate.
Hello, my Black American people. How are you all doing? You know I love you so much, right? But with the whole of all this FBAs, FAAs going on, I think here I'm gradually beginning to actually believe this thing is just, identity crisis, right? Now a lot of people online are saying these people don't even know what they're talking about. And some Black Americans are like, no, 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 no way, we are Native Americans, no way, we are from Europe, right? And now they're coming out to say, no, this thing is a lie, right? I want you to listen to it and hear for yourself. Honestly, it's funny. I laughed all through, but to be honest, it's pure love from here. I love you all so much. I love Black American people so very much. So listen to it, and I'll be back with the commentaries.
All right, I would like to apologize to all Africans, whether you're in Burkina Faso, whether you're in Nigeria, whether you're in Sudan or up in Egypt, down in South America. I apologize. Welcome to the cookout. I was not aware of the statistics of Africans or the African continent. This is the average IQ by country, 2025. As you can see, last place. All right, last place. I apologize. I did not know this before I started making these videos, okay? I should not be arguing with you guys. I should not be bringing myself down to the level of those who... I ain't even gonna finish that. Roughly 600 million people lacking access to electric. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all got enough problems going on. I'm gonna leave y'all alone. Hundreds of thousands of Africans migrating to the Americas, but talking mess about it is crazy. But anyways, you guys receive the most foreign aid of any continent. So it's not my position to talk down on you, but yet I should fulfill my due diligence and my duties and help you guys, send you guys aid like the rest of the world is doing. We stand with Africa.
I'm not African. I'm not Black American. I am Native American. Like, seriously, what's wrong? What's wrong with all of us? Like, what is wrong? What is happening in 2025 in America? Like, not only some of the Black Americans, some of them, because I love my Black American people. I love them so much. Not only some of them are trying to boycott African businesses in America, but also now they're claiming that they're not Black anymore. So what are you guys? You are not white? Somebody need to get a diagnosis from the doctor. Like, for real. What is wrong with all of us? I need to get my hair done. Stop all of your bullshit. Like, you can't go to an African. I'm African. No, let's boycott the Black American business. Let's boycott our African owned business. I don't give a fuck. I find a shop. They can do my hair. I can pay for it. I go to that shop. That's it. Please. What is this now? So, like, white people, they don't even have to try to separate us. We are doing it we are doing it to ourselves. And then we're cool. We're like, yeah, fuck those people. This is the wrong fight. Like, please, let's go back to the one gorilla against 100 humans. That's it. That was the right fight.
What is wrong with Black America? Black America, what's wrong with y'all? Like, y'all on they necks. When I say y'all on they necks, y'all on their necks. Y'all got the Jamaicans coming out saying, don't put us in the middle of it. You got the Haitians, like, they undecided. Like, you got some Jamaicans saying they stand with Africa. Then you got the ones that saying don't put them in this. They literally came over here to make their money, send it back home and mind their business. Then you got the Africans making videos talking about some the aunties. So sorry. They literally making videos saying auntie sorry. But when I went on Twitter is in an uproar too. They like literally playing all the young people videos about the deploy awards. Black America is eating their ass up. Them kids are clowning. Like, but you gotta read the comments. Like, I be in the comments. I'm messy. I like to start a pot too, but they. Oh my God, them comments should be against the law. Like, y'all as Black Americans should not be able to talk to people like that. And it doesn't matter what those. They wilding out all of them.
Africa is angry at foundational Black Americans because they know what we're capable of. Here we have great materials, we can manufacture, we can do all that. We have resources in abundance where is in Africa, they don't have advanced materials, and their manufacturing industry is underdeveloped compared to all other nations. With that said, yes, they are trying to destiny swap, and they're going about it in a traditional manner.
I need to get this out. I need to get out. These niggas are over there about to buy their groceries from China, bruv. China said this is how much we have. Oh God. Oh God, they have struck again.
There's hierarchy that they're trying to partake in. They're making sure that they're prideful about it. Sit back, learn something. I don't need to learn anything. I've already researched you guys, and I've also written papers, and I was very much so accurate. I've already assessed your entire country.
Yo, I'm gonna need one of my good sisters and brothers in Africa to hand my sister a map. She said Africa, she said she wrote papers on that Africa as a country. Please, I beg, can someone hand my sister a map? Hey, God, listen. I will come back tomorrow with the commentary, please. I need break. I'll come back tomorrow.
Nigga fatigue is growing.
Excuse me, your child didn't pay for that. I didn't charge him for it.
What you talking about?
The thing in his hand, I didn't charge him for it.
I got still a motherfucking thing about this motherfucker.
No, you gotta come back. He gotta come back here and pay for it, or you gotta come back. No, he gotta pay for it. No, yeah. Yeah.
I ain't got no reason to steal it.
Give me.
Don't
No,
touch
give
my
me.
baby.
Yeah.
Don't touch my baby.
No,
I'm not
give
with
me.
that. Don't touch my baby.
No, give me that. Yeah.
Don't touch him.
No, give me that.
Don't touch my baby.
Give me that. I'm gonna call the police right now.
Call him then.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Give me that. Give me now.
This is why people are tired of black people. This selfishness, this entitledness, this I can do whatever the fuck I want with no consequences. People are tired of that shit. And then we've got black women raising the next generation of fucking thieves. What kind of people set this kind of example for their fucking children? I guess this is the most educated demographic that everyone keeps talking about, right? Raising this child to be the next engineer and astronaut America needs, right? We need to continue to be aggressive in calling this out. None of this holding hand shit and trying to beat around the issue. This is a problem we have with our people and a problem that we have within our community. The FBAs, or the fearful of being African members, are now calling for a countrywide boycott of all African-owned businesses in the U.S. I find this funny for two reasons. One, they don't realize that they're practicing isolationism. And two, you're literally advocating for the boycott of your own community, your own people. These are the people that you shop with. These are the people that do your hair. These are the people that watch your kids. These are even the people that are giving you your medical treatment and educating your kids. So I'm a bit confused as to why you would want to alienate 1.5 to 1.8 billion people over white tea supremacy in trying to make America white tea again. This is insane, folks.
I feel like the real reason that Africans, Caribbeans, and everyone from the diaspora is so bothered by Black Americans is because we do not let the African part of our lineage overshadow the American part, right? So when African Americans are creating all of this new culture, and we're being the face of culture and creation and innovation all across the world, we are not giving that credit to our African heritage. And I think that is where all of the discomfort come from. Because every time there's a conversation about, the greatness of Black Americans in the world, every time a British person or Caribbean person opens their mouth to talk about Black people in America, it's always, they don't know their roots. They don't know their heritage. When in fact, we do know our history, we do know our heritage, and we know that we are descendants of American slaves. And in those 500 years, we mixed with Europeans, Native Americans, Hispanics, and of course, the people who originally here were African. But we ourselves are not inherently African in any type of way. So because we don't give that credit in large to our African counterparts, there is jealousy and disdain there. And that's why there is always so much question about our identities. It's not that we don't know who we are, because we do know who we are. It's that you don't like who we claim to be. And because our American part of our identities is just as important as the African part of our identity, as well as the Native American, Hispanic, and everything else that mixes to make an African American, that rubs you the wrong way. You think that Africa should get more credit for the creation of Black America. The proof of this is you don't give Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, or Brazilians this same treatment, right? People are okay with Latinx, Afro-Latin people highlighting the Latin part of their culture over the African part of their culture. And the only reason that y'all are okay with that is because they have not reached the heights of creation and innovation that Black America has, right? And so because they haven't done anything as world-changing and as world-effective as Black America does, it doesn't matter as much to you. But because we have reached heights with our culture that our counterparts across the seas and in South America cannot reach or have not reached, because I won't say that you can't, it's a problem for you. You need us to say how African we are so that you can take credit for our greatness.
My thing is, we've been hearing from Africans and Caribbeans our whole lives saying that we have no culture. Now, since we're claiming and educating you on a culture that essentially runs the world, I don't know what the rest is what you said, but basically it's a problem that we're finally starting to speak out. I sat down all last year because I have been seeing them saying stuff on the internet since the internet, but I was starting to see it a lot, like really kick up in like 2022. And then I got on TikTok heavy last year, and the things I saw every time they loaded up a podcast, every time the Caribbean and the ones that are British now, first gen, whenever they loaded up a podcast or got in front of a mic, the topic of discussion was always Black Americans. It doesn't matter. You could have been talking about the sky is blue. Some way, somehow, it would have went back to Black Americans have no culture. Black Americans don't know where they come from. There's so many, I've been compiling videos because now in 2025 that we're finally starting to speak out, they are lying, scapegoating, gaslighting, scamming, all of the shit that they be doing, trying to act like this has not been a thing. We just never said anything. We never said anything. We never stood up for ourselves. So I think that's why they're crashing out. And as one of my mutuals would say, Kanata way, he said they're devastated. That took me out. That was hilarious. They're devastated because we're finally saying something. We never used to say anything. They've been talking big money, cash money shit about us since they got here, really. And even on their homeland, a lot of them, we're lazy, we're this, we're that, all sorts of shit. And now that we're like, wait a minute, y'all want to go stereotype for stereotype? We could do that too. Just because we ain't over there and some of y'all migrate here, some of us do travel over there, and we have the internet, baby doll, baby love. But nobody even wants to do that. We never come out just talking about them unprovoked. And honestly, it's hurtful to see people that you always rooted for, you never really saw yourself apart from or separate from, literally say, you're not me. They've been drawing a line in the sand. I've experienced that since elementary school, so that doesn't really shock me. But just to hear the nasty stereotypes, like they literally have like the white supremacist talking points when they talk about us, like calling us slaves and cotton pickers and saying that our culture is unaliving each other and single mothers and wealthy and EBT. When it's like, yo, we can see y'all. We know what y'all lives are like. Like, come on, bro. We know what's going on the continent, bro. Like, you come to other countries and compare yourself to the 10%, the bottom, the low tier. Like, let's go apples for apples. And we shouldn't even be comparing. They're the ones competing and comparing with us. But when we say something back, it's an issue. It's projection. They deflect and they gaslight. And we're not going for it anymore. You want to talk shit, bitch? Welcome to the show. It's relevance the Brooklyn way.
As I read more about European colonization, it's really clinging to my mind that y'all are not mad enough about colonization. Y'all are not, like, anybody. You can tell Latin America, North America, Australians, Africans, Asian people, everywhere. Y'all are not mad enough about what Europeans did to your country, your city, your states, your nations, your continents. Slavery is crazy, bro. Like, Europeans are so violent, they had 2 world wars in the span of 20 years. That ain't never happened before in human history, but you had 2 world wars. For what? Like, I know it's supposed to be, like, there's a reason we're not taught how bad colonization was in schools. Because why? The victors of history, they write history. Europeans won. They won multiple times and they keep on winning. They're still actively colonizing different nations to this day. Example being how Haiti still has to pay back France for their own revolution. Haiti had independence and they have to pay back France because France was enslaving Haiti. What? European governments, European companies coming into Africa and making sure that they still have their slaves to build their fucking companies. What? U.S. nonprofits coming into Africa to impose anti-LGBTQ plus laws. There's a current day colonization happening to this day, and people are not mad enough about what happened to their countries. Maybe I'm just not seeing it. But the more I read, the more I see how every single thing that happened as soon as a European man, woman, they don't give a fuck. A European person stepped into my country, everything went downhill. Everything went down.
I'm an African American. I'm the only person in the world who's had issues or who's faced discrimination. No, you're not. American black people are not the only people who've gone through hardship in this world. The same way slavery or the history of America has an impact on black people, history itself still impacts black people across the world today. And that's what a lot of you don't seem to understand. Your great-granddad or your granddad was a slave. Fair enough, innit? But so many African nations are still being affected by the West today. Look at Congo. As a clear example, it doesn't have to be slavery in your face for it to still be slavery in your face. Do you know where the resources in your iPhones come from? Congo. Their man are still going through it right now. I'm an African American. I'm the only person in the world who's had issues or who's faced discrimination. No, you're not. I'm an African American. All these people are stealing our culture. It's not really you. It's because of the country where you're from has this real big impact on media. So yes, a lot of us in the world, white, black, blue, pink, grew up on American culture. Not specifically black, but hip hop is cool. Hip hop is dominant. Athletes are cool. Like any child and every young person in the world, you look up to people you can identify with. So if you see a Michael Jordan, a Tupac, a Biggie, a Jay-Z, you're going to admire them and you might adopt elements of their culture. It's not rocket science. It's not that deep. You're not the only black people who have to navigate being a minority in another part of the world. So relax.
There's an internet psyop taking advantage of undereducated African Americans called the FBA Movement. FBA stands for Fear of Being African, I think, and it's causing a sect of African Americans who didn't graduate high school for the most part to grab onto certain catchphrases and hot terms to disparage African people and distance themselves from their own African ancestry. They claim they've always been in America and the Native Americans are really the ones who came over to America. Like, it's the dumbest shit I ever heard. Something I noticed about these people online is that every single one of their accounts look a lot like bot accounts. And the ones that aren't bot accounts, you can tell by their profiles that these are losers. These are people that contribute nothing to the African American community, but they're so proud of being African American based on I don't fucking know what. And I'm an African American. I'm very proud of my ancestry. I'm proud of the things that we've accomplished. I'm proud of who we are. But we're African people that were born in America. And the most intelligent thing we can do strategically and socially and politically is to connect with the continent. Otherwise, if we isolate ourselves in the Americas, we will get genocided. So whoever is behind this psyop wants you all to get murdered. You're distancing yourselves from Caribbean folks and African people saying they want to be us. And we're like, it's the dumbest shit ever. I just want people to be aware of it. Don't fall for it. It's like the African American MAGA, meaning you're getting nothing out of it. And it's always the lowest of us, literally the lowest of us, the least intelligent, the least attractive, the least wealthy, are holding on to that just the same way the worst white people hold on to MAGA, you know? Like Dr. Umar said, if you don't want to be African, fine, stay the fuck away from us, okay? And don't speak for us. Don't speak to African people on our behalf. Don't speak to Caribbean people on our behalf, because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, okay? They're not trying to steal your identity or steal the reparations that you will not get from America. So let us smart people connect with the continent, connect with our heritage, connect with who we are. Foundational. What the fuck? The founding of what? America? A genocidal white supremacist country that's owned by Israel. But you guys are abandoned America. You're so proud. You're a bunch of fucking dummies.
Grand Rising. I want to thank my ancestors for blessing me with all this African greatness. I'm a proud African. I don't know who taught you to hate yourself, but please do me a favor. Do not come to my page with your hatred for Africans, okay? We are black Africans captured, forced to be born and live among our enemies, okay? If you want to go boycott something, do me a favor. Go boycott your mother and your father for having given birth to you and not teach you to be proud of your heritage. Look at all this Africanness. 100% African. I thank my ancestors for blessing me to be born the way that I am today. Look at all this shit. Ooh, I love my Africanness. Y'all need to do the same. Have a good one.
There's been so much rhetoric about divisiveness between Africans and African Americans, or let's just say African Americans and Black Americans, because that is what they want to be called now. They refuse to be identified as African descendants. And let me not say all of Black Americans, but majority of them are now showing their ass about how they feel about being called African American, or even having a proximity to be of African descent. And let me just remind you that I, as an African American whose family is descended from West Africa, Ivory Coast, when I go into a doctor's office, a job application, or anything that requires for me to identify my race, it says African American, Black American, but it does not differentiate which is which. We are in one category. So for you to sit here and say that the black dollar is the only dollar that consistently sustains the economic orbit, you're not wrong, but it's not just descendants of slaves here in America. It's literally all peoples of color, immigrants included. That means Jamaicans, Haitians, Africans, Afro-Latinas. It's not just descendants of Black people who had family here that was once slaves. Even the conversation of that and not wanting to be from Africa so bad, honestly, to me, it just goes to prove what we've been saying about how a lot of Black Americans don't like African people. As somebody who grew up being bullied by Black kids, not even white kids, I literally didn't understand racism until Trayvon Martin's death and the unfolding of the history that I, on my own, came to learn about the history of whites and Blacks in America. But before then, it was Black kids who bullied me in school, called me African booty scratcher, asked me if I lived in trees, asked me if I ate leaves, talked about my language and how I interacted with my parents. And it's always thrown into our face that if it wasn't for Black people, America would not have the opportunities that they have today. And I don't disagree with that. I very much agree to that. But then it's also very backwards for you to not take into account the role that Africa plays. Africa is not just one country. It's not two, it's not three, it's not even 20. It is 54 whole countries that contribute to the economic world globally. So for you to not take into account how big of a part that we play and try to demean us simply because there has been division literally put in place in society that white people have put in place to keep us divided so we don't understand that we are of one of the same cloth, to me is honestly very disheartening, especially in these times when they're working overtime to make sure that we are not united to fight against the number one problem. It's been multiple creators I've seen on here who are talking about boycotting African businesses, boycotting African shops, talking about how nasty African food is, and talking about how we cosplay to be African American. And the reality is, it's just, oh my gosh, like it's so much to just decode. I don't even know where to start. I'm not saying I hate Black Americans. I love Black Americans. I love Black American culture. Growing up, loves hip hop, loves soul food. It's nothing against them, but it's also Black Americans forgetting the amount of trauma they place onto Africans, which gives them the experience, I guess you could say, or the view of certain African Americans. Just like we can agree that not all Black Americans are prejudiced against Africans, you can't say that all Africans are prejudiced against Black Americans. That's it, that's all. And if you're going to boycott all of Africa instead of the people who did harm to you, just know you're boycotting 54 countries who contribute to everything you have, including this iPhone that you're recording on and talking ish on. So there's that.
Some people are telling me that people of color in the United States are not African.
Sarah, I am just as perplexed as you are. It's wonderful that someone is asking the question. I thought I was the only... So let's get into it. The phrase foundational Black Americans was coined by Dr. Claude Anderson. And from reading his works, the premise of the foundational Black American was for Black people to pull their resources together and do businesses with other Black people to uplift the Black community. All Black people. However, the foundational Black Americans have now decided to exclude themselves from the Black diaspora. They refer to themselves as being indigenous to the land, which you and I both know is right. So they think that they are indigenous to the land, which is... So I am trying my best to do the Lord's work and let these folks know that they are from African. So I have recoined the FBA phrase to fear of being Africans. Have you heard of Mehdi Hassan from what is it? Zillow, I believe? No, it's... He has I don't remember the name of his show, but he has a show. But anyway, his name is Mehdi Hassan. If you go on YouTube and you Google 1 progressive and 20 conservatives, the second gentleman that comes on to discuss the topic with Mehdi referred to himself as a foundational white American. So the same way you have the problem, the same way I have the problem, you now have the problem too. Where this white gentleman refers to himself as being native to America, indigenous to this land. Hence the reason why I believe the FBA, the foundational Black Americans, and the foundational white American movement is yet another CIA disruption in the making. Same as the crack epidemic in the 1980s. Because that white gentleman regurgitated the same talking points as the fear of being Africans Americans. So, please do your research on the on the foundational white Americans, and I will continue to do whatever it is I'm trying to do with the fear of being Africans. And hopefully, in the near future, we can come to an understanding of why this is happening. But I'm in agreement with you and all of your findings in your research. Black people from the United States of America arrive to these United States in boats, ships, slave ships, coming from primarily West Africa. The same as how my ancestors arrived in the Caribbean. So good luck to the both of us, and I hope to get a stitch from you in the future. Have a great day, Sarah. Good luck. We both need it.
At the end of the day, a lot of people are beginning to say what I said, right? If you notice what I've been saying in my videos, they're almost the same. I kept saying, we are one, we are one. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what our differences are. We are one. Thank God, a sister of mine said it in that video. She said that the thing is beginning to look like foolishness because Caribbeans are saying, we're not part of you guys by boycotting. Haitians are saying, we're not part of you guys. It's none of our business. A lot of people are saying, we're not part of you guys. And even the white Americans are beginning to refer to the thing as fearful of being blacks. They're like, we don't understand what these people are saying. What's happening? And some white Americans are saying, Black Americans, I hope the American police actually know that you are American. Which is true. Look at what had happened in the past. Look at things. Look at scenarios. Look at the way police brutalize blacks in America. They don't brutalize whites like that. Look at the whole Black Lives Matter. Look at everything. And you sit down and you want to spoil it? It's not good, to be honest. I am not pleading with you guys. Like I said in one of my videos as well, I said, if you're saying you're not African, it's fine, it's no problem. Do you know how many we are in Africa? We are a whole lot. We're plenty. We're too much. Now I'm speaking the pidgin English. We're plenty. If you say no, you don't want to be a part of it, it's fine. In fact, you're saying, like me, I used to say it all the time. You guys are the owners of America, no doubt. But the thing is, are those people you are with in agreement that you guys are owners of those places? Why spoil it? Why spoil, okay, the ones that are even trying to say, okay, we want you. Why do you think they want you? Because of your money. Why do you think they want you? Because they want you to come and invest in their economy. Why do you think so? Really, it's crazy. That's why I keep saying something. At the end of the day, try and visit a black country. Then you will know what I have been saying. Try and visit one, just one. Come to Nigeria. Like I keep saying, come, come, come. Come, I'll be happy to welcome you. Come to Nigeria. And your spirit, your soul, and body will tell that this is your soil, or any place in Africa. Oh, this is where I truly belong to. So that's it. I'm just happy that some people are beginning to make peace with the whole thing. Like, they are sorry, this is not it. Right? That is it. I hope you have subscribed, right? You have shared this video and you're like, let's keep promoting this video so that people can see it and actually believe that we all are the same. There is nothing like fearful of being blacks, right? There is nothing like that, or fearful of being Africans. There's nothing like that. We are one. And to be honest, we love black Americans. Like me, I love black Americans so much. A black American cannot be like, even when they do some trashy behaviors like that one you say in the video, like, I still feel these people are having, a kind of, mentality based on what their forefathers have passed through. I really don't see, their fault in everything. So let me hear your views in the comment section. Please be kind, be kind, be kind, be kind. I love you all. See you on the next one. Bye.